What's up? I'm Sam with Real One Adventures. I'm here to talk about what I consider the most important tip for bluefin tuna fishing at night out of San Diego. And that tip is to stay vertical. Now, I've got a couple graphics I've generated to help explain this concept. It's really something that could be done with a whiteboard. However, my drawing's terrible. This graphic's a lot better. Here it is. So, as we can see, you're drifting forward. The boats have no brakes, obviously. So they're hunting the tuna down at night, and they're planning to intercept them. So, they're swimming at 40 miles an hour or whatever. So they find the schools with the sonar. And at some point when they tell you to get ready and you go up and grab your rods or stand by, they kill the motor and then you're on the drift. So when they kill the motor, it continues to drift. And so let's imagine the boat's coming on the graphic here and you cast at an angle ahead off the bow. So on these sport boats in San Diego, a lot of times you're casting off the bow and you're running like a production line. Everyone's side by side, just kind of working their way down to the stern. Now, if you cast off the bow forward ahead of where the boat's traveling, as it swings down like a pendulum into the strike zone, you have a longer period of time of being straight up and down. Now, being straight up and down is critical. So you want to move your feet. But maximizing the time in that strike zone as you intercept these fish is critical. So the other factor would be the wind. So the wind may come from any direction. You're gonna have to be aware of it. So you may have wind on this graphic. It's showing wind on a port side. Now that wind's gonna be, so not only are you drifting forward from the bow, but the wind on the port side is pushing you towards the starboard direction and forward. So you're moving not at a straight line, but at an angle. So what I do in a scenario like that is I cast at that angle off the bow. So not only am I compensating for the forward drift of the bow, but the direction the wind is drifting the boat. So what you want to visualize is not where the boat is right when you drop it, because right when you drop it, you're not going to be in the strike zone. You got to get down deep, 200, 300 feet, sometimes more. You got to compensate for that as well, but that's a whole nother issue. This is much more important. If you can realize the fact that you want to time being in the strike zone with being straight up and down, and you're going to maximize that by compensating for both the drift direction and the wind. Now you can always ask someone on the boat what direction the boat drifts. Some boats drift stern first. Some boats drift bow first. I think a majority of them in San Diego drift stern first, which just seems odd to me, but that's how it is. You can always ask, they will know, but this is critical. So being in the strike zone, when they find them, when they're fluffed up and ready to bite, like they say, getting down there first is big, and that's the thing is, but I think, not just getting down there first, but being down there more time, like spending more time in that zone. If you got any value out of this video, please hit subscribe, comment if you think there's a tip that's more important than this when San Diego tuna fishing. I just did a top 5 mistakes and things I wish I would have known before San Diego bluefin tuna fishing. And I got some amazing feedback from a mentor of mine and then some people in the comments. So I'm going to have to actually do a much larger video, like at least the 10 important points that people have brought up that, I can't just ignore. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for checking it out.